Okay, so we want to take a look at the chapter 16 drills, and what I've asked you to do is to translate these clauses and to parse the verbal forms. So let's look at number 1 just to do a couple of examples. Ani kothev, say that with me. Ani kothev. What's ani mean? I, very good. And kothev? What does kathav mean? To write. Remember kethuvim is the third part of the Hebrew canon in the Old Testament, the writings. Yeah. So ani is I. Now look at kothev. Is that a cal perfect or a cal participle? Yeah, you see the OA. Okay, I got my 3 root letters with the holum with root 1, kothev. That is a cal participle. So if we're parsing here, we need to indicate the verbal root, kathav, and then cal participle. There's 0 ending on this first form, so it's what gender and number? Masculine, singular. Look at the second form. I still have the holum, but I have the double segel and the tav. What gender and number is that? Kothevet. Feminine, singular. Okay? Now, who would say ani kothev? I am writing. A dude. That's right, a man. Who would say ani kothevet? A woman. That's right. Okay, so both of these will be translated the same way. I am writing. Okay? Now, let's look at number 2. Say this with me. Halahu lifnei Adonai. Okay, so here's my verb. Here's my 3 root letters. Is this the cal perfect or the cal participle? Halahu. It is a cal perfect. How do you know it's not a cal participle? It does not have the OA vowel pattern. And the most important thing is it doesn't have the O with root 1. No holum vav. Okay, so what my verbal root is halach. And it's a cal perfect. And if it's a perfect, what does a shurik on the back side of a perfect tell me? Which person, gender, number? Third, common, plural. So how am I going to translate that? Who's doing this? They. So they walked. And now I have one of my new words, lifnei. This is a lamed preposition before penei. What's the lexical form of penei? Pan. What gender and number is it? No? Look at your vocab list if you need to. What's the lexical form? What is it? Panim. Panim. Okay. Why do I have panei here instead of panim? It's construct. It's a Canadian ending, isn't it? That means this is thing 1 and that's thing 2. Panei Adonai is the face of Adonai. Le panei Adonai becomes lifnei Adonai. This is to the face of. What do you think that means? They walked, or I'm sorry, I don't know why I have they walking. I'm thinking of participles. They walked lifnei Adonai. What do you think that means? Yeah, it's before, in the presence of, right? Because if you have something or you're doing activity that's up to the face of someone, it means it's before someone or in the presence of. So they walked before Yahweh. Okay? Now look at number 3. Everybody say that with me. Nafala al paneha. Okay. Nafala. Cal perfect or cal participle? It's a cal perfect. There's no holum with root 1 here. I got nafal. Who remembers what nafal means? To fall. That's right. Nafal means to fall. Comment say on the back end of a cal perfect. What's that? Third, feminine, Singular. Good. So who did the falling? She. So she fell. And then all means on or upon. And then paneha. Ah. Whose face? Yes. See that pronoun there? That's the 3FS pronoun, isn't it? So she fell on her face, not her faces. She fell on her face. So you see that yod makes it look like a plural noun, doesn't it? And it technically is, but it has a singular sense. Okay? All right. Look at number 4. Ata lo shofet. Say that. So, who's ata? That's a pronoun. It's you. So, ani, I, ata is you, and that's what kind of you? A masculine you or a feminine you? This is, it looks feminine, doesn't it? This is actually a masculine you. At with the silent shabbat is the feminine. So this is a 2ms pronoun. You man, lo shafet. You not judging. You not judging. So, what might I be missing here? Ah, the copula. Yes. So you are not judging. What use of the participle would this be if that's what this is saying? You are not judging. Is it attributive, predicate, or substantival use? It'd be a predicate use. Okay, now let's parse shofet. It's from shafat, and it's a cal participle with no inflectional ending. Remember, participles don't have person, just gender and number. So it's just ms. Okay? You remember that? All right, so you are not judging. Now, is there another way to take this instead of the participle functioning as a predicate use? Yeah, how else could this participle be functioning besides a predicate use? Could it be attributive? Yeah, it'd be worded weird because it's not possible here, right? Attributive participles go where? After the noun that they modify and agree how? Gender, number, definiteness. Okay? This thing is not following it out. So what's the other use? We have attributive, predicate, substantival. Could this be a substantival participle? What if it were substantival? What would this be saying? You are not a shofet. You are not a judging one. You are not a judge. That's possible, isn't it? Yep, it sure is. Like I could say you are not a horse, right? Ata lo sus. I can say you are a horse. Ata sus. And I can say you are not a judge. Ata lo shofet. Okay? So, you are not judging. That's, again, what use of the participle is that? Predicate. And then you are not a judge. What use is that? Substantival. Okay, where it's functioning like a noun. Excellent. Alrighty. So, do you guys have any questions about anything else on this drill sheet here? There's several pronouns that are in there, and you know, participles aplenty. Anything you struggled with? Well, you might have to parse a few verbs on the final. So yeah, I mean, you'd want to be able to distinguish, is this a participle or is it a perfect? right? And remember, your participles are distinguished by that root one having a holum or a holum vav, that O sound. So if you look at number 5, kovatsot, you should assume that that's what kind of a verb? Kovatsot. Well, I mean the ending, but I'm talking about the holum here. Okay? That's a participle, right? Now, why don't I have the sere here in kovatsim? Why is it not kovatsim or kovatsot? Because it reduces the vocal shava when I add endings over here, these vocalic endings, okay? So it's great. You want to be thinking O-A, 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 but remember, it can become O-A when you add the feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural endings too. Kovates becomes kovatsot. So what is nashim over here? Hanashim. Is that the men or the women? It's the women. And does that explain why we have a feminine plural ending here? Yeah. Now look, this participle is after the noun, so that must mean that this is an attributive participle, right? Not necessarily. That's right. What am I looking for to know for sure? Is this an attributive participle versus a predicate participle? Yeah, does it match gender number definiteness? Kovatsot is feminine plural. Hanashim looks masculine plural, but since it's women, we know it's feminine plural. Do they match definiteness? No. They do not. No, no, no. So this cannot be attributive. It must be a predicate use of the participle. And I'm going to supply a verb of being, a copula between these in English. The women are kavatsing. What does kavatz mean? Gathering, like gathering food, crops, things like that. Okay? All right. Look at number 7. Say that with me. He motzeit. Which pronoun is he? Who? What? So he, who? Who is he? He is she. And me is who. Right. Okay, so who is he and he is she. So which person gender number is he? 3FS, right? That's the person gender number, 3FS. So, motzeit. That is from matzah, roots 1, 2, and 3. And what vowel goes with root 1 here? That's a holum. What does that tell you about this verb form? It is a participle. Matzah, cow, participle. You see a tav at the end here. What should that tell you? It's feminine singular. Now, why don't I have the double segel here? Shouldn't I expect to see something like mo tse et? Right? I should. What did the aleph do? It quiesced and lost its vowel pointing, and the segol, which is short, has done what? Compensatory lengthening. Yes. I couldn't even repeat what you just said, but okay. So motzeet becomes motzeit. So how would I translate this? She, what's matzah? To find. So she finding. What am I missing? Yes, I'm missing the copula. She is finding. What use of the participle is this? It's a predicate use. Okay? I will frequently have predicate uses when my subject is a pronoun like this. All right? Okay, and then let me just finish our drill sheet with 8 here. And then, again, if you have any questions, let me know. Bahar bi. What is bahar? It's one of our newer verb forms. Bahar. To choose. To choose. So bahar, is that a cow participle or a cow perfect? It's a cow perfect. I ain't got no holum with the bet, right? So all bets are off. Not attributive, it's just a participle, but there can be one of three possibilities, right? So if you have the holum, it's a participle, but participles are verbal adjectives, and adjectives can be attributive, predicate, or substantival, and therefore participles can do all three too. What's that? Yeah, the holum has to go with root 1. Okay? So if it were the participle, it would be bow hair instead of bow hair. Okay? All right. So bahar has the cow perfects vowel pointing and no ending, so it's the cow perfect what? 3 ms, right? So who did the baharing here? Who did the choosing? He. So he chose. And then I have the preposition bet plus which pronoun is this Keurig yod at the end? That's one CS suffix, right? So should I translate this as he chose in me? Nope. What did we learn about this verb when we learned it last chapter? It marks its direct object with the preposition bet, but you don't translate the bet. So he chose me. Just go straight to the pronoun and translate that. He chose me. Okay? All right. Any other questions on the drill sheet here? All right, then you tell me real quickly, is no fail right here, is this a perfect or a participle? How would you translate the participle, no fail? Falling. Excellent. O Mareem, is that a perfect or a participle? Participle, because of the holum. You see that holum there, Sarah? Root 1, right? These root 1 consonants have the holum right after them. How would we translate O Mareem? Saying. Use the ing form. Good. Zoharim, is that a perfect or a participle? Participle. Got the holum there. What's Zahar mean? To remember. Zoharim is remembering. Good. And Ovadim, perfect or participle? Participle. There's the holum. So this is serving. Serving. Okay, so you see those holums all the way throughout for where we've got our participles. Okay, there you go. All right, excellent. Let's look at the Ross translation work here. Okay, so here is the chapter 16 homework in Ross. Any questions on these translation exercises? So look at number 2 here. Let's go ahead and just talk about the front part real quickly, and then we'll look at the forms in the back. Hamelech is the king, and I have Yoshev. Does that have the familiar vowel ring of something we just learned? Yes. So that's a cal participle, right? What are my root letters for this verb? Yod, Sheen, Bet. So do you see how the holum here is actually a holum vav, right? So sometimes they're spelled, the holum is spelled fully as a holum vav, the full mater. And shave, sere, participle, and there's no inflectional ending. So which gender and number is that participle? It's masculine singular. Why is it masculine singular? Well, because the melech is masculine singular. Is it definite like melech? No. So which participle use might this be? Could it be attributive here? Nope, because it has to agree in all 3 ways if it's attributive, gender, number, and definiteness. Here it's just gender, number, but not definiteness. So it's very likely a predicate use, right? So what am I going to insert here between melech and Yoshev? Is. And it could be was, depending on the context, right? The king is or was Yoshev. What's Yashav mean? To sit or to dwell. So you have to read more to know whether it's sitting or dwelling. He was yoshaving on kiso. Remember, this is that new noun we just learned, kisei, a chair or throne. Whose chair or throne? I got a pronoun here. That's a 3MS, so his throne. So probably not dwelling on his throne, right? So the king was or is sitting on his throne. Vahu, and he, shofet, judging, yes. Now here I've got my same vowel pattern, OA. So participle, and let's add the copula here, right? And he is or was judging at amo. Yeah, the people, but I've got something on the back end. Yes, that's the 3MS pronoun, so his people. And since this is marking a direct object, I don't translate the et here. Okay, now, Sarah, did you have a question about the sere here? Yeah? What's your question about that? Like, why is it not a cow perfect? Okay, yeah, so here it keeps the sere because there's nothing after root 3. So basically, if I can do it this way, if we let these 3 boxes stand for any 3 verbal root letters, holum with root 1 and sere with root 2, when there's no ending, is the participle. Okay? But if I add a kamate, im, or ot to the end, then this sere is going to become vocal shava. Okay? So just like what we have here. Look at number 1. I have holachim. This would, in the masculine singular, be holech. Holech with a sere. But when I add the im ending, the sere goes to a vocal shava here. See? Here the sere stays because there's nothing after that root 3 letter. All right. Any other questions here on the homework? Yes, Luke.
On number 4.
Mm-hmm.
When it says because there it says it's a key.
Yep, we got a key here.
But that's translated as it instead of she.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he, oh, by the way, which pronoun is this? Yeah, he, which is she, right? But remember, feminine nouns could not only refer to people, but things, right? And so the feminine pronoun could refer to an it as well as a she. Now, what we have to find out is what does the she or it pronoun refer backwards to? Let's go back to the sentence. Ziknei ha'am, there's my Canadian ending, so this is a construct chain. The elders of the people. Here's my verb, zoharim. Is that a perfect or a participle here? It's a participle, got the holum. Because I have the im ending, notice Sarah, my sere went to a vocal shava. So zoher, zoharim. So the elders of the people are remembering et admatam. They are remembering. Okay, yeah, the lexical form, you really need to make sure you remember the basic vocabulary item, the lexical form of your noun. You should know this is from what form? Adama. But this is not adama, this is admatam. So something's happened to the back side of this, hasn't there? What's happened? I had to change the a to at in order to add a pronominal suffix. So it's still land, but it's telling me whose land. The is third masculine plural. Who's that referring backwards to? The elders. So the elders of the people are remembering their land because feminine singular. So what do you think that refers to? Yeah, it's the land. So we're going to translate that as it. Now, if this had been the elders of the city were remembering their mayor, they all have one horse, because he yafa, we would say because it was pretty, right? But what if they all had one wife? Okay, they were remembering or are remembering their wife because he yafa. Then we're going to translate that as she is pretty or beautiful. Okay? All right. Any other questions here? All right. Let's just walk through some of these participles and make sure that we can identify them. With the 4, 5, let's look at 5 here. So we have harag ha'ish hahu, the man, the that is that man. Harag, what did he do? It's one of our new vocab words. Killed or slayed, right? Is this a perfect or participle? It's a perfect because it doesn't have the holum here, right? So that man killed et achiv. Who did he kill? What's an ach? A brother. The vav at the end is a pronoun which tells you whose brother. Whose brother is this? His. And is it one brother or many brothers? One. The yod looks plural, but I've got a single dot. That's a singular noun. So he killed his brother. Now look at what's after this. Ha-ho-lech. That's the verb halach. Is this the perfect or the participle? It's the participle. Root 1 has the holum here, doesn't it? So notice that it's masculine singular because there's no ending. Brother is masculine singular. This is definite. Is brother definite? Is there an article on it? No. Can it be definite without the article? Yes, if it's a proper noun or if it has a pronoun attached, right? Because that makes it specific, doesn't it? And notice that there is a definite direct object marker in front of achiv. So it is definite. And the participle is definite. So what type of participle is this? It's attributive, right? So it's the walking in the field brother. Okay, so that man killed his walking in the field brother. Now that's great German, but it's really horrible English. Ja, he killed the walking in the field brother. How are we going to make this better English? Yeah, you want to translate this really with a kind of relative clause. Who, his brother, who was walking in the field. Okay? So we want to do that. Okay, real quickly. Number 6. I have ha-yoshavot. Ha-yoshavot. Is that a perfect or a participle? Participle. Yod, shin, bet are my root letters. Holum with root 1. So, why don't I have a sere for yoshev? Because I've got an ending, right? Ot. Yoshev becomes yoshavot. What does yoshavot mean? Sitting or dwelling. Good. Kot the vote. Is that a perfect or a participle? It's a participle. Root 1 has the holum, and it's not kothev because there's an ending. So it's kothevot. What does that mean? Writing. What's nofelet? It's a participle, and nafal means to fall. And what gender and number is nofelet? Double segol with a tav at the end? That's feminine singular. And it means falling. Aish is fire. Fire was falling. All right? Okay, we'll stop there.